Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Center's Giving Tuesday webinar training. I hope everyone can hear me okay. If for any reason you can't, you can go ahead and type in the question and answer portion, just letting me know if you can hear me or not. The reason for that is all participants at this time have been muted, except for except for all the panelists that will be participating. And there will be time at the end for people to type in their questions. This webinar, again, will be recorded, so that way people that weren't able to attend can still participate and hear all the information that was shared here, as well as if there's anything that you wanted to go back and reference, you can listen to this webinar. And we will also be sharing out the slides after this is over. So let's go ahead and get started. So things that we will cover today is we'll talk about an overview of the center, what the purpose and the goal of Giving Tuesday is, and kind of the history of what is Giving Tuesday, and also then setting you up to become a successful fundraiser for the center on Giving Tuesday. And then at the end, we will have a question and answer portion. And then as well as I will let you know all the information that will be shared after this webinar. So about the center, the mission of the center is to connect our diverse communities to opportunities, resources, and each other to achieve our vision of a stronger, healthier, and more equitable world for LGBTQ people and our allies. For those of you that aren't very familiar with the center, I just wanted to give you an overview of our different programs. So we have three different large buckets of programs here at the center. We have our economic development program, we have our youth program, and we have our community programs. Our economic development program assists LGBT job seekers in finding safe and secure living wages. We help queer-run businesses grow and increase LGBT community financial assets, and also try to eliminate barriers for trans economic success. We also help with financial planning for those that are looking for housing, whether that's first-time home buyers or renters, and also assist in financial services. We have we have community programs, which encompasses our information referral program, which is our network of thousands of volunteers, as well as our art and culture program, which we have an art gallery space here in the center that is open for queer and local artists to display their art for free, as well as a cyber center, which provides free computer access. We also have our youth program, which assists transitional age youth, which are youth ages 16 to 24. We have a drop-in space for them 6 days a week where they can come and just hang out, connect with each other, watch TV, play on the computer, and also get mental health services. In addition to that, we have a weekly meal night where youth can come and have kind of a larger meal and gathering and hang out together and connect. So what is Giving Tuesday? Giving Tuesday happens the Tuesday following Thanksgiving. It was originally started as this idea to kind of counteract all of the shopping and spending that happens around Thanksgiving, including Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So this is kind of a way that we kind of add on to the Black Friday and Cyber Monday and say, okay, Giving Tuesday is your time now to give back to community and give back to charities. And also, as many of you may know or may not know, is that between Thanksgiving and New Year's is the largest giving time for donors during the entire year. So it's also kind of kicks off the charitable giving season where people start to give money, not only in the spirit of the holidays, but also to get in their contributions before the end of the year for tax purposes. So Giving Tuesday and the center, obviously as a nonprofit, we participate in Giving Tuesday. And our goal here in having this webinar, I'm sorry if you can all hear sirens. I am, my office is right on Market Street, so that happens. But Giving Tuesday in the center. So our goal here in hosting this webinar and recruiting volunteers like you is we want to activate a team of volunteers that on Giving Tuesday is going to help the center raise our goal of $10,000. So we have set a goal at the center, $10,000, and where we are hoping to raise that is through a team of volunteers like you, as well as us activating our network of donors. So what we are asking you to do in supporting that is to set up your own Mighty Cause fundraising page. Mighty Cause is the platform that the center uses to raise donation funds. So I'm going to help you through this webinar set up your own Mighty Cause page. And again, don't be alarmed by all the steps that I'm going through. I will share this PowerPoint with you after, so that way you can easily see the step-by-steps. And then also how to push out through your own social media and by email with family and friends. Social media really has been the main way that people activate on Giving Tuesday, hence the hashtag, which is very social media focused, but also email too for those who are not on social media, whether it's yourself or your networks. Social media fundraising bases, what are our goals, and you need to what are your goals and how to articulate them. So when you are starting fundraising for yourself, you want to hit a goal of what you personally will want to raise. So even though the center is raising $10,000, you don't necessarily need to let your network know that to scare them off and think, okay, $10,000 is way too daunting of an amount. Maybe for you, something more realistic is raising $1,000 or raising $500. So being really clear with your network what your personal goal is for fundraising. And then also go into it. What I would recommend is how many donors are you going to want to engage with? Donors meaning your network, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your neighbors. So kind of going into it, making a list of these are all the people that I would want to engage, whether that's 15 people, 50 people, 200 people. That'll help kind of shape what is your goal. So realistically, how many people are you reaching out to? And based on that and what you think their giving capacity is, how much could you raise? So then you would want to build who is your audience. So that goes into building a list of how many people you can engage with. And by identifying your best prospects would be people that who in your network do you think aligns with what the center's mission is, and what are their giving tendencies? They tend to give to queer organizations or not, or do they give to organizations that are not queer related, but you think that the center would really be something that appeals to them? So, you know, thinking about who are the best people to reach out with to, not just because they're connected to you, but you think that their giving could be connected to the center. So what are your engagement channels? Well, here at the center, we are engaging all of our networks. So one of the things I also left off here was, so we have email, Facebook, and Twitter, but also Instagram. So the center will be activating our email list, we'll be activating our Facebook group, our Twitter group, we'll also be activating our Instagram group. So for you, think about personally, which one of those channels you have the biggest network in and engage with the most. So for example, for me personally, when I start reaching out for Giving Tuesday, I have a lot of people on Facebook and I have a lot of networks on Instagram, and I'm not so strong on Twitter. So I'm just going to knock off Twitter for myself, and I'm going to really engage on Facebook and Instagram. For you, it might be you have a huge Twitter following and you have a large number of people in your email base, but Facebook and Instagram aren't really the most, aren't the largest channels for you. That's fine. Think about your networks online and where your biggest channels are. And then Bitly, I added that in there because you can shorten URLs by using that. And obviously, especially when it comes to Twitter, characters and the amount of characters matter. So thinking about that. So some social media fundraising basics is messaging. Messaging is all about storytelling, and for you, this story is why does fundraising for the center matter to you? So talking to your networks about fundraising for the center, fundraising for Giving Tuesday, and why fundraising for the center on Giving Tuesday matters to you. I'll get into messaging a little bit later as well, because I will have a packet that I will share with you after that can help massage your storytelling and your messaging if you need a little bit of a kickstart. So call to action, make it clear and direct. Why should somebody be giving and how much should they be giving? So I will also share with you some information on give, $10 today and $10 will do X, Y, and Z. So being really clear with your networks about what the amount of money that you're looking for and what that can do. And again, that $10 is just an example. You can also be asking people for $1. You can be asking people for $50. Video and images. So recording yourself or making your own memes. You will see a funny little meme on this slide right here. The center is going to be using a series of cat images, a cat and animal, sorry, not just cat images, animal images, so dogs as well, to try to inspire people to give. Now, this may seem really silly to you, but the thing is, on Giving Tuesday, every single nonprofit is going to be asking for money, and they're going to be on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, in your email. So what is a way to make you and make the center kind of stand out and catch people's attention? And people love animal memes. So that's one of the things that we came up with this year, is to use animals, pictures of animals, to kind of tell the story of the center and why giving is important and how much to give. So be creative. You don't have to use text, but that's just kind of an example of something funny and interesting and eye-catching that you can do. So some more social media fundraising basics, excuse me. Challenge gift. People love giving to a matching donation. So not saying you need to do this, but if you personally, let's say, for example, you plan to give $250 to the center on Giving Tuesday, you can use that as a matching gift to your network. So I'm going to match up to $250 for every dollar that you all give. So that way, if someone in your network gives $10, they know that their $10 is really $20 because you are matching that up to $250. Recognition is always important. So I really encourage you to recognize your networks that give to you, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, tagging your friends, thanking them for their donation. Bribery, at the center, we don't always encourage bribery, but, say that you're going to, for every person that gives $100, you're going to take them out to happy hour or something creative like that. And then a deadline. When do people need to give by? But always remember to thank your donors, and remember this is supposed to be fun and not stressful. So be creative and think about what works best for you and for your networks. So communications plan. Again, I will share all this out after, so you don't have to remember at this moment. But now through November 27th, which is when Giving Tuesday is, you can start doing your outreach. So, or at least kind of building what your outreach would be. So build your donor list, post your Giving Tuesday project on through your networks and letting people know that this is coming up, and give us sort of a sense of urgency that there is a deadline. November 27th is really the day to start raising funds. So between now and the 27th is when you can start letting your networks know, I'm raising money for Giving Tuesday. This is my strategy. Here's some funny dog memes, whatever you want to do to get people prepared that this fundraising day is coming up. And then on the day after, on Wednesday, the 28th, thank your donors. And we will have a tax acknowledgement form that you can send to your donors as well. All right, so now getting into a little bit more of the nitty gritty, this is how you set up your own personal fundraising page. So you will want to go to the center's website, And then you will click on the donate button in the top right-hand corner. So you'd be going to our website and almost going to a place where it looks like you're going to give money directly to the center. Once you get there, you have an option of two different buttons to hit donate or hit fundraise. You will want to hit fundraise because you're not going to be giving money to the center, you're going to be fundraising money for the center. Here is where you would put in what your goal is. So is your goal to raise $250, $500, $1,000, super ambitious, $5,000, whatever it is, hit that in. And what I recommend here is make sure that you put in a goal that is achievable. It's so much more impressive and inspiring to donors if you are getting close to hitting your goal, or if you've already hit your goal and they're going to help you go over that goal. So make sure to be realistic. So if you realistically think that you can raise $300, don't put in 500, put in 300 and then hit that goal and then try and push people to go over that goal. So once you have put in your goal, then you can continue with building your page. I recommend, the center recommends going with Facebook just because it's so much easier. But if you don't have Facebook or you don't have a really active Facebook page, you can just do a regular old email, and that option is at the bottom here as well. So then from here, you can start customizing. So if you would put in, when I had started this page to use as an example, I put a $500 goal. You will see that it is written out as $500, and as of right now, zero amount of money has been raised by 0 people, but that will move up and change as people start giving. And then you can also easily, it's super easy, user friendly. You can insert images that you want to use, whether that's just the logo of the center, if that's a meme you created, a picture of yourself, whatever it is, start customizing this. And then once you've created that page, you can start sharing with your networks using the URL that was at the top of the page to start sharing that out. And then you're kind of ready to go. So that's pretty much everything that I have to cover here. One thing to let you know before we go into questions is everyone that was on this call or that RSVP'd for this call, I will be sending you all through email a packet of information, which will include a series of different example emails and when to send them so that you can customize them for yourself. I will also be sending out different examples of memes that you can use yourself, or you can use the information to create your own memes. I will send out this PowerPoint and also a link to this recording. So Chris, I know that you have the ability to talk on this webinar. Chris is a board member of ours who participated in Giving Tuesday last year. So Chris, if there's anything that you want to add in, please feel free to jump in. Anyone that has any questions, please feel free to type those in and I'm happy to answer them. Anything? All good? All right, well, I'll give everyone just another minute if they have any questions, and I'll stay on the line. If not, thank you so much for participating. Again, I will email you back with all of the information that you will need. If you have any questions for me directly, when you registered for the webinar, my contact information was included. So please feel free to email me and reach out with any questions that you may have. Thank you so much for participating, and super excited to work with you all and for Giving Tuesday.